Hey guys, John Brown here with Exploring Park City Living. Today we're going to talk about 1031 exchange, probably one of the most known tax codes there is, and it's for a reason because instead of taking away profits, it actually can help save them. Also to note, 95% of the tax code is not about paying taxes, it's about saving money on taxes. So once you realize that, taxes kind of become a little bit more exciting. I am not a CPA. This is not tax advice. This is for entertainment and perspective purposes. When you do talk to a tax professional, you have your ducks in a row. You can answer, have the right questions to ask and not waste time and kind of be prepared. This 1031 exchange allows investors to defer capital gains, their recognized tax implications of their profits when they sell their real estate by redeploying, reinvesting all of the proceeds into more like kind property that is also going to be held for investment or business purposes. Like kind, right? Um, what is amazing for investors is that they don't recognize any gains. That's why everyone loves this. They get to parlay up into possibly bigger, better property and actually helping our economy. And that's why I think the government has this section. Because it organically allows investors to strategically pick the most beneficial replacement investment um, to move their capital. And when you are reinvesting and moving capital, uh, in that process, we keep real estate values high and we generate jobs in the marketplace, which is huge, right? Real estate agents get paid, mortgage companies get paid, loan underwriters get paid, title companies get paid. Everyone working there, it supports all those jobs, as well as the local county tax assessors usually get to raise property tax values. And it just creates a lot of velocity and jobs in the marketplace. So it's a good incentive rather than paying the taxes. I also think that it grows the economy better than if you pay the taxes. The government usually is not as efficient as somebody in the marketplace looking out for themselves. So if you also note, there's a way to keep doing this so you never have to pay taxes, right? Because it's a deferral, so it's kicking the can down the road of taxes. But there is a way that your beneficiaries will receive them without having to pay taxes. So we'll get into that. And that's really where wealth building comes into play there, generational wealth building. Um, Anyways, 1031 exchange deadlines. So after you close, after you close on selling your property, you have 45 days to identify a potential like-kind replacement property, and then you have 180 days to complete and close on that like-kind exchange property. And when you close on your place, the funds go into a third party, like escrow, and sit there until you close on the next place. Woo, balloons. I don't know why that happened, but but yeah, so you must exchange for equal or more value on the net sales price. So it's important that uh, that cash can be pulled out, but it's always going to be taxable, right? But to avoid paying any taxes, you're going to have to swap for a property that is the same value or higher. And for example, if you have $1 million home, or not, it's not a home because you can't do this with your primary residence, by the way. It's only an investment property. So like a rental or nightly rental or commercial. So say you have a $1 million property and you have a mortgage of 500,000. To receive the full benefit of the 1031, the new property must have the same or more value of $1 million with the same $500,000 mortgage. So you can execute partial 1031. Say, for example, you have $1 million uh, property and you want to exchange for a $750,000 property, then you would have to pay normal capital gains tax on that $250,000. We call that the boot. So um, the difference is called the boot, and that's the amount you'll have to pay on taxes. So the investor can select an unlimited amount of like kind replacement properties. However, they must take possession and close at least 90%, 95% of the fair market value indicated. Um, and also to note cost basis. So we're 1031 exchange defer or puts into the future your taxes, not eliminates them. But what happens when real estate investors pass away? This is where you potentially don't have to pay a dime in taxes your whole life on real estate, other than like the taxes you pay yearly. But on any gains is what I meant. But when real estate is passed on to an heir, the property is reevaluated to the fair market at the time of death. So any deferred capital gains or taxes are eliminated, right? So say you bought a house, keep saying house, I shouldn't say house, a property for $100,000. And when you die, it's worth $1 million. If you sold it right before you died, you would have to pay capital gains on $900,000. But if you die and give it to your heirs, the cost basis is stepped up to $1 million. And if they sell it the next day, they don't pay a lick in taxes. So that is amazing generational wealth building. Also to note, cost basis. Cost basis is how much you pay for the house, including any capital improvements that you have. So say you had that $100,000 house, and over the years you put $200,000 into it. So your cost basis is $300,000. So if you sold it for $1 million, you'd pay capital gains on the $700,000. But to note also, people that are using 1031 exchanges are most likely using depreciation. So on a investment property, if you are a real estate professional, you can depreciate the house, not the land, but you can depreciate the house, which is usually a single family home, usually about 70 or 80% of the value. So say it's worth $1 million, 700, 800,000, say 750,000, just for round numbers. That is depreciable over 27 and a half years. So you divide 750,000 divided by 27.5. So every year you can write off $27,272. Also talks to tax professional if you can do that. But anyways, that reduces your cost basis when you depreciate an asset. So, if you're thinking about selling, definitely reach out to somebody like myself if you're in Utah, or I can get you in contact with anyone anywhere to figure out what the best route is for you, and if it's deferring, or if your cost basis is high enough that you can get out of it and not really have to pay much capital gains, or you really want to do a 1031 because you have a lot of equity in this house and you've also depreciated it, and you're like, this would be a huge tax burden. I do not want to. Let's do a 1031 exchange. So this happens a lot in Park City. A lot of people are, selling their boring rentals, maybe 3 rentals in the Midwest, and they sell all of them and buy one nice property in Park City as a vacation rental, and you're in a better higher appreciating market at that point anyways. I hope that gave you value, and drop a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this coming in the future. And if I gave you value, stick around and watch the next one. Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye.